All right, so in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down why I'm doing 100 pull-ups a day for 100 days, how I'm gonna be doing it, and why I don't think it's a bad thing. Why I'm doing it, I just really wanna get good at enduring pull-ups, so being able to do 500 or 1,000 in a day. The current guy that's going for the world record is Truett Haynes. I believe he's going for over 8,000. That is a long ways out for me, many years to achieve something like that, but I wanna pursue it. How I'm gonna be doing it, so I'll be using dents throughout, not for all of the reps. For example, today I've already done 4 sets of 5 just thrown around throughout the morning, and I've just warmed up with some band pull aparts and then some short range curls like this, going for super high reps, like 50 plus, just to warm up the biceps mainly. I've never really had trouble with my lats or my shoulders getting injured with pull-ups, more so the biceps, so the elbow joint is what I really want to warm up. Why I don't think this is dangerous at all. So the way I think about it is no one here, or no one watching this, you watching this, would ever think that, say, walking 5,000 steps or 10,000 steps a day every single day is bad. 10,000 steps a day is a pretty thrown around number of a healthy target to hit, but let's just cut that in half, let's say 5,000. No one would question that being bad for you, right? Or no one would question standing up from your desk, so like half squat, squatting back up every single day, 20, 30, 50 times a day at work is bad for you, right? And that's because you're used to doing it. If you were to take someone who has been bedridden for years, either they're obese or they have no muscle to hold their weight, and you told them, hey, you should do 5,000 steps a day, 10,000 steps a day. You should get up from bed or up from your desk 50 times a day, even if you haven't moved in years. Obviously that would be bad. And that's the same way I look at the pull-ups. If your rep max of pull-ups is 5 or 3 or 2 or 1. If you were forced to do 100 a day, after day 1, you would wake up more sore than you've ever been because you just took something that you're not very good at and took it to the 100 times limit. Versus for me, 100 is very, very manageable at this point. I'm essentially not sore at all. After day 1, hands, calluses, those were hurting a little bit, but otherwise I was completely fine. I think if I was doing more like 250 to 300 a day, that would be a little bit less manageable and there'd be a bit of risk for injury. So for me, currently where I'm at, 100 a day is reasonable. And I do think that in a few weeks, in this 100-day challenge that I'm doing for myself, I can bump it up to 150 or 200 and kind of continue that for the foreseeable. The way I see how I might be switching this up in the future after this 100-day challenge is maybe instead of 100 every day, I can do something like 50 to 100 as the baseline every day, and then every other day I do 200, 300, 400, 500. So I'm still maintaining a baseline level of work. That 50 to 100 is almost like walking or existing throughout the day. And then that more intense day would be like a squatting day, right? So we all walk throughout the day, and then every other day, every 3 days, we squat, we put heavy weights on our legs, things like that. That's the way I'm looking at it now. From what I've researched and looked into the way Truett Haynes is training and the way he's learned from others that are doing pull-ups at high intensity, high volume specifically, is you really do need to have those rest days. The rest days might not need to be 0 pull-ups in my opinion, but you need to have those days of extremely high effort, 1,000, 2,000 in his case, and then a day or two of extremely low effort, a couple hundred in his case. So that's the way I think I'm gonna approach it. Well, yesterday I did 6x10 and then a block of 10D4 dense style. Today I've already done 4x5, so I've got 80 more to do. I think I'm gonna keep the intensity quite low today, so I'm just gonna continue with sets of 5 spread out throughout the day. I think yesterday that 6x10 was a little bit taxing on me, so today I will take it a bit easier, maybe tomorrow as well, and then the day after I can go a little bit higher on the intensity. Again, the volume's always gonna be 100 for this 100 days, but the intensity might be switched up to where I'm doing 8 sets of 12 and then a set of 4 at the end, or 4 sets of 13 instead of 12. It's a little bit higher intensity, and as I mentioned in yesterday's video, the goal is to be able to do 5x20 at the end of the 100-day challenge. So right now I can maybe do 20 with horrible form. I know I can do 12, 13, 14 with decent form, but if I can reach the end of the challenge where in a 30, 45 minute period I do 5x20, that would be amazing. I'm just gonna do 5 right now, do 5 in maybe 30 minutes or so, and then just keep doing 5 throughout the day until I get my 100 reps. And one thing I'm kind of struggling with is swinging. So I don't know how Truett Haynes does it, but he's so good at coming down to a full stretch in the lats, fully locked out elbows, and going up. And he's very clean. He's not cheating his form whatsoever. His chin clearly above the bar. But for me, always around 4 reps, I need to pause because my swing gets too aggressive where I'm pulling here and I'm swinging way back. And then on the way down, I'm swinging way forward. And it just becomes this like ever increasing pendulum. So yeah, that's 25 for the day, quarter of the way there. I am balancing this out with push-ups, behind the neck press, standard shoulder press. Don't have a dip set up here, but yeah, making sure to balance it out. My push is definitely a lot stronger and enduring than my pull is. So yeah, but I'm already feeling a little bit of gains from this, a little bit of kind of continuous all-day pump. But yeah, let me know if you're doing some sort of challenge. You know, if you are in a position where your rep max is 3, maybe shoot for 10 a day for 100 days, or at least 10 a day for a period of time, a couple weeks, and then maybe you can bump it up to 15. Like I said in the beginning, think of this almost as walking. No one would bat an eye if you were told to walk half a mile a day, 5,000 steps a day, whatever. So apply that same logic to this. I understand that this is long range, right? In the bottom position, you are putting a stretch on your lats, a mild stretch on your biceps as well. So it's not the same as walking, but the body is capable of adapting. The muscles are capable, connective tissue is capable. You can do long range movements every single day. The question is, how many are you doing? What volume? And what intensity are you doing? If I was squatting my 1 rep max every single day in my current stage, I don't think I would last more than a week before I hit pain. That's because my connective tissue in my knees is not where I'd want it to be. I don't think my connective tissue anywhere in my body is where I want it to be. So that's why continuously putting work into long range at that point where I can tolerate it and recover from it, but not too much that I get injured and not too little that I'm not even adapting, is where I'm trying to be. So yeah, let me know if you're doing a challenge. Would love to hear other people's challenge stories.